This is Ray. This is Andy. And this is FDS CFL Season 3, Andy. Episode 15.
Week number 13. Lucky number 13 is behind us now. We had a couple big rematches from Labor Day.
It was, we had the Banjo Bowl this week.
Banjo Bowl. Yep.
And, it's part of that Labor Day Classic. And, boy, we've got a lot of really good football games to talk about this week.
Absolutely. Before we get to that, if you need a beer to get through this show or any show, get yourself a Moose Light. Why, Ray?
It's scary good.
It's scary good. It'll also help you get through a very rough NFL weekend that we won't get into that. If you need a shirt like this, a hat like this, or a hat like that, go see our buddies the Doyles at Doyle Corporate Image.
Because of the Doyles rule.
Yeah.
I personally had a little too many Moose Lights this weekend, so yeah. I'm on the Kirkland water. Natural spring water,
right.
With ozone added.
It's unbelievable.
Kirkland water.
It's unbelievable that Costco isn't one of our sponsors on this show, to be honest. There's a lot of Kirkland stuff flying around here, you know? All right.
I know.
Let's run through the games real quick. Now, I was in Toronto for the weekend. The Argos were not in town. Otherwise, I would have tried to get a game. I was there for a wedding. I had a lot of things on the go, so I really had a hard time catching a lot of CFL live. So you're going to have to help me out with a lot of this stuff.
I'll do my best.
Though Twitter also helped me a lot, and nothing distracts you at a wedding better than Twitter.
There you go.
So,
absolutely.
All right, first game, BC at Montreal. We were excited about this one. Montreal takes this game at 21-16. Adams throws for a touchdown. He runs for 2 as well. That's 3 wins in a row against Montreal. I don't care who it's against. That's exciting. Did you catch this one?
I did. I saw this game. I loved Adams played great. Standback was back to what he normally does, 78 yards on 15 carries. Quan Bray had another touchdown, Andy. When you look at the last 7 games that these guys have played, they've won 6 of them. Mm-hmm. After that bye, they came out and lost the game there. But, take that game away. These guys are one of the hottest teams in the CFL right now.
And that game was the one where Adams was hurt and
that's right.
Pickem had to start.
Started, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the game that we wanted Hugo to start. Yeah. Where's Hugo? Anyways, Montreal, I really love this team right now. They're climbing up my power rankings every week. They did again this week. We'll talk about that later on. I just love Montreal. I still think the East goes through Montreal.
Well,
there you go.
They're definitely my favorite team to watch in the league at the moment. Next game, another big Eastern juggernaut versus another big Eastern. This is rough. Okay. Toronto takes out the unwatchable Ottawa Red Blacks 46-17. Ray, they had a 21-point fourth quarter that they didn't even need, they being the Argos. They already had this game in the books. They decided to rack up 21 points just to make the Red Blacks look bad, I guess, which is fine by me. That's easy to do. I don't know if you caught this one, but I've been waiting for the kind of the shoe to drop with Ottawa where, if it wasn't for BC, they would be dead last in the power ranks, and I'm still even considering it a little bit anyways.
I know. I did watch this game as well, and I have to say, man, it was fun watching the Argos win this ball game. It was a lot of fun. I loved Ron Burgundy at quarterback there. Bethel Thompson.
James Wilder had a big game. Eh?
James Wilder, he was back in the form that James Wilder was last year.
Yep.
And his contract's up at the end of this year, and he wants to be an Argo, is what he said.
Okay.
And remember the tough time that he had trying, because he didn't want a 2-year deal. He wanted a 1-year deal last year. Anyways, now he wants to be back with the Argos again. Listen, the last couple games that Toronto has played, they've gotten out to leads. Even a touchdown Atlantic
they had it.
They were out in the front.
We were worried for Montreal in the first half.
That's right. But they couldn't close a game out. So the fact that they put 21 points up in the fourth quarter, good for Toronto. They closed the game out finally, and they got a victory.
Yep.
And if they can keep getting out to those early leads and keep closing games in the fourth quarter like this, watch out, people. Toronto's going to win more ball games.
There you go. And I mean, I think everybody just assumes there's going to be a crossover at this point because of the weak records at the bottom of the East.
Yeah.
But if Toronto goes on a run and Edmonton continues to slide, who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? All right. Banjo Bowl. We talked about it a little while ago.
Whew!
Man,
What a game this was.
so many sports leagues are a what have you done for me lately league, and I found out this week that that the CFL is just as much of a what have you done for me lately league as any other. Saskatchewan.
Oh, I've got my wrong hat on.
Oh.
I'm sorry, folks. We're still recording. I just need to go change it.
Oh, yeah. This is very important.
Sorry. Big mistake.
We'll be right back, folks. All
right. Now I'm ready to talk about this next game, Andy.
Okay, Saskatchewan rolls into Winnipeg, and after beating them in the Labor Day Classic and all their banter and their yapping on social media, Winnipeg takes one 35-10. Winnipeg had a 28-point first half, and that was enough. Man, things changed a lot in 1 week, right?
Man, oh man, oh man.
Yeah.
After all the trash talk that Winnipeg Blue Bomber fans took from Rider fans after the Labor Day Classic, for them to come into Winnipeg, they thought they were going to walk over Winnipeg in this game.
Yeah.
They weren't even giving Winnipeg a shot to win this game. Mm-hmm. And let me say this again.
Okay.
I love Chris Strevler as a quarterback. I love this guy.
Woo! Okay, that's the first time we've heard this one.
I know.
All right. Wow.
I tell you, this guy is such a gamer, Andy. He goes 15 for 21, 186, throws for 2 touchdowns. So his passing completion numbers getting better every time he plays. Yeah. He's exciting, Andy. He rushes for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns as well.
Yep.
And every time, as I was watching that game, all I kept thinking about is, can you imagine if they had Andrew Harris in the backfield? And they have that running back, quarterback, rushing attack combination going on. I mean, it's exciting. And I like Matt Nichols, but Matt Nichols is too conservative for me. And we talked about that before he got hurt, how he plays so conservative. And Strevler's a gamer. He's out there. He's making things happen. And I love this kid, Andy. I just love him.
All right.
Good for Winnipeg. They win this 35-10, and they laid a smackdown on Riders Nation. It was great.
And that was the final game that they need to be without Andrew Harris.
That's right. Harris is back, so I mean, it's only going to get better for the W.
It's
only getting better for
and
the
now
W.
They have a bye week coming up, so they'll have some time to get more healthy. Not that they have a lot of injuries other than the major ones. And we'll see what happens.
It was worth taking the 10-second break for me to go get my hat.
Oh, no problem. They heard me do the Jeopardy theme.
Right.
Everything's fine. Okay. All right. Calgary at Edmonton in another Labor Day rematch. Calgary has now swept the Battle of Alberta. A lot of things are going downhill in Edmonton, Ray. Things are going downhill. Now, we've been so hard. Well, not we've. You've been so hard on Trevor Harris so far this season that I don't know if you want to go light on what's going on or not. Calgary wins this game 33-17. Bo is finding his stride once again.
Yeah.
And Calgary, obviously, without him, weathered the storm and kept the record good. Calgary's a juggernaut. And, tell me about the game.
So, yes, 33-17 is the final score. Bo Levi Mitchell, Andy, sets a franchise record by most wins by a QB in Calgary. So, nice. Good for Bo. Trevor Harris goes 3 for 5, 9 yards, and a passing touchdown to Tavon Smith. So he finally throws a touchdown in the red zone. Yeah. But guess what? He takes a hit, and he leaves the game with an upper body injury. Ouch. So Trevor Harris is out, and that does not bode well for the Eskimos going forward right now. No. And who knows? Maybe this backup quarterback came in. I don't even know who this guy is.
No. He played okay.
He played okay.
Played solid. Yeah.
He played okay. Yeah. But I think it's a big loss not having Harris back there at the helm.
I agree with you, Ray. And things have been really going south with him back there. So, like I said, if there is a way for there not to be a crossover, I mean, the recipe is Toronto going on a run and Edmonton kind of fizzling a bit. So it is we'll see what takes place because a lot has to happen. The CFL is a long season.
Yeah.
What are you taking and leaving this week, Ray?
I am taking. It hasn't been officially announced by TSN or the CFL yet, Andy.
Okay, but you're taking it anyways.
I'm taking it because there's a new 6-year TV deal with TSN that's about to be announced.
Good.
It's worth approximately $50 million with significant incentives for TV ratings, base, and all this other stuff, for example. TSN will own all domestic rights to the CFL in Canada, and that could be worth quite the penny, considering, Andy, think of this.
Yep.
We're CFL 2.0. We're trying to expand into Mexico, into Europe, trying to spread the game. Think of the streaming revenues that could come to TSN from people outside of Canada trying to watch these games.
Right. So there is potential that there will be streaming opportunities finally.
Absolutely, yes.
Excellent. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Not that you can't today, but like what I would really love to see, and I understand it's so expensive, but the equivalent of an NFL Game Pass for the CFL,
right?
There has to be a cheap and easy way to do that. There really does have to be, and people would pay a subscription to go back and watch the games.
Absolutely,
you know, just to get caught up.
They would.
Okay, all right. What are you leaving?
I am leaving the health of CFL QBs.
Yeah,
I don't get it. Trevor Harris is the next in line of injuries. Logan Kilgore was the starter that came in and started for him. Bo Levi Mitchell's finally back. Mike Riley's the only other starter from week 1 of the season. Adams Jr., don't forget, he was a backup.
Yep.
He's worked his way into the starting role. But my biggest question is, what's going on with the conditioning staff of these CFL teams? These conditioning staffs, it's their job to make sure the players are ready to be in a game, on the field, take the bumps, take the bruises, and then get them back ready to come back. What's going on with these conditioning staffs?
Well, conditioning staffs, if you guys are listening to this show, I just want to say that I don't blame you for this at all. You know, Ray sometimes gets a little hot with these takes. I think a lot of this has been bad luck. Sure, there's a lot of factors that's going into it, but this has been an awful season for quarterback health in general in a league that I find there's a lack of good quarterback play to begin with. We've been talking about it all season. It's rough. Let's just get through this. Let's hope let's hope everybody gets healthy in time for the playoffs, as many as possible. But yeah, like non-contact injury, Jeremiah Masoli completely changes the Tiger Cats season, or did it?
Well, here's the thing. Out of a 9-team league, you have 2 starters from week 1. Yeah. Find me any other league out of any other sport in any other country where you're talking about the number of injuries to the starting, the most important person on that team. Yeah. It boggles my mind, and I have to throw the conditioning staffs under the bus.
Fair enough. Imagine if that same thing happened in the NFL at that same ratio. I mean, we would have Trent Edwards playing in the NFL again. I mean, we'd be so desperate to have some players. All right, power rankings, Ray. So yeah, this week was very interesting for both our power rankings, and as usual, we're very similar, but we take a different stance in one spot. I'll run you through mine really quickly. Hamilton was on a bye. They were my number 1 last week. They stay my number 1 at 9-2. They deserve to be there at this point. And I believe the way I put it was, while the powerhouses in the West play their weekly game of musical chairs, the Hamilton Ticats stay at the top. Winnipeg, who I had dropped down to 3 after their loss on Labor Day, goes back up to number 2 with their win in the Banjo Bowl. Calgary, who was down at number 4, jumps up to number 3. In Saskatchewan, I had you at 2. You have dropped down to number 4 after that. It was the only way I could make it work. Montreal's climbed up to number 5 to jump ahead of Edmonton, who's falling. Edmonton at 6. Toronto jumps to 7 with their win over the unwatchable Ottawa Red Blacks. Ottawa's at number 8 because they have 3 wins instead of 1, and there's no way I could justify putting BC ahead of them, though I really want to, Ray, and I'm wondering if we would really get a lot of flack if we did it.
I don't know.
Because you know what kind of flack we get on these power rankings up near the top. What would happen if we did that down near the bottom?
It'd be crazy.
Anyway, those are my power rankings. What do you got this week?
Well, before I give you my power rankings, I got a couple things. One is there's a Kyle Day. He's a Hamilton Ticats fan.
Yep.
He had the audacity, Andy, to call me. He had the audacity to call me an idiot.
Woo! The I word.
He used the I word. I'm a very sensitive person, Kyle. Very sensitive.
Real thin skin, Kyle. You got to be careful here.
And
right?
I take words like idiot to heart.
Yeah,
all right?
Yeah.
I mean, I do this podcast for you, Kyle. Every day I sit at this table and I put those power rankings together, I'm thinking of you, Kyle. You. All right?
I hope you're watching this, Kyle.
I hope you're watching this. I want you to know that was a harsh word to use. And anyways.
And I want you to know,
think
Kyle,
twice.
That I forgive you.
Yeah. I don't yet. I hope
you're watching.
So let me walk you through my power rankings, and then I got to talk to you a little bit about Mike Shoesmith again.
Oh, another fan.
Yeah, this is second week in a row for Mike Shoesmith.
Fan in quotes. There,
Winnipeg Blue Bombers, they get my number one. They got knocked out of number one because they lost to Saskatchewan, and I put them back to number one after they laid the smackdown on Saskatchewan.
Fair enough.
Calgary, I put it number two, and I'm telling you folks, watch out. Bo Levi Mitchell, he's the real deal, man. He is the best quarterback in the CFL right now. Hands down.
Woo!
Hands down. Watch out for this guy because Calgary is on the arrow up.
Oh, absolutely.
Hamilton Ticats, I left the same. They were week 3 last week for me. I left them in the week. They're on the bye.
That seems fair.
If I move a team up or down when they're on the bye, people attack me. So, hey, I left Hamilton alone.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be an idiot.
There you
go.
Go.
Now, if anybody wants to call me an idiot, and I get it, Saskatchewan Roughriders. I dropped them from first to fourth, Andy. And you know why I did? Because of all the Rider Nation fans going on and on and on. The yap that I listened to and the yaps I saw on social media about the fact that they beat Winnipeg, the fact that they got beat so bad by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. They're lucky they're at fourth right now.
Yep.
They're lucky at fourth. Montreal, I finally have moved up and above Edmonton. Edmonton's sliding quick. Toronto's above Ottawa. And I'm like you. Mike Riley, show me something. Just show me something. Give me a little bit of a hint that BC's better than Ottawa, and I'll put you there. Okay?
Well, guess what? We got a game that's going to
give
us
that hint. We got a game coming up.
Yeah.
But before we do that, I want you to know I tried to work out a deal with Hamilton Ticats fans. I put an offer on Facebook to Mike Shoesmith, and he came back, and he tried to alter the deal a little bit. But here's my deal for Ticats fans.
Okay.
They're all over me because I won't put the Ticats first.
Right.
So here's what I've said. If Hamilton beats Calgary this week,
yes, this is a big one.
I will put Hamilton first overall.
Okay, good. That's fair.
But if Hamilton loses to Calgary,
okay,
and Montreal beats Saskatchewan in Saskatchewan,
yeah,
Montreal will take over third, and Hamilton will drop below Montreal. That's my offer.
That's your offer. Okay.
That's my offer.
So you're offering up the power ranking moves in advance. Okay, all right. And what did Mike come back with a counter?
He didn't like the deal.
Didn't like the deal.
So I said, tell me your offer. Give me your thoughts. Give me an offer. I think that's a fair offer.
I mean, yeah, I think that you're exercising a lot of logic and rationale in saying that if Hamilton beats Calgary, because you're always on Hamilton that they don't beat a good team, right? And
if they beat Calgary, I'll give them number one.
There you go.
But if they lose to Calgary, and Montreal beats Saskatchewan,
right?
Montreal goes ahead of Hamilton.
Listen, I think you're making a little too big out of this deal, or a little too much out of this deal here, Ray. At the end of the day, you do your power rankings and I publish them, and there's nothing Mike Shoesmith can do to stop me.
All right.
So you just go with your deal. That's what it is.
Sounds good.
That's the only thing that's going to make them happy, and I want to see the comments if they lose to Calgary. So let's go with that. All right, those are the power rankings. Ray, give me a few odds and ends.
Odds and ends. Now, folks, listen. Andy's a little sensitive right now about the other football league in North America.
Crushed.
Okay?
Absolutely crushed.
A little sensitive.
Crushed.
All right? But former BC Lion D-man Cam Wake Cameron Wake.
Cameron Wake, yeah.
Recorded his 100th NFL sack on Sunday
Yep.
against Baker Mayfield
Yep.
for a safety.
For a safety, and actually injured Baker Mayfield's wrist in the process. He was Cam Wake, is the fountain of youth. Oh, man, he's a machine.
33 years old.
Machine.
And he's like, he just signed a 3-year deal. Mm-hmm. And he's at 33 years old. This guy's all over the place.
He can still play, that guy, man.
Very interesting. He spent 10 years with or he was with Tennessee and he was with Miami for 10 years after the CFL.
Yeah.
So great for Cameron Wake.
Yeah,
he's still doing it.
Yeah, good for you, Cameron Wake. All right, let's move on.
Andy, there's more NFL talk going on about NFL in Toronto is heating up. Ambrosi was just on the Rod Peterson show this week, and he said, I'm not concerned with that. I'm more concerned with building a better CFL. My question to you is this.
Yeah.
If Toronto gets a team, first of all, should they move the Argos? And where should they move the Argos?
Oh, that's tough, man. So I don't think Toronto can support an NFL team with what they their current infrastructure. Obviously, all this talk about Toronto getting an NFL team is on the back of the Toronto Raptors fairy tale season. Okay, when the Raptors came in the league, they had some fans and everything like that, but it was a slow build to build this fan base, and ultimately a bunch of playoff runs in a row. Got a lot of fans on board, and then the championship season just rallied the entire country together. But a lot of those were not fans. A lot of these people that were all over the Raptors for this championship run are not going to be fans if they aren't good again next year. But regardless, you look at that, you look at what it can do for a country, and you look at the revenue and the dollar signs and everything like that. That's what people are thinking. They're thinking Canada has one NBA team, and the whole country rallied around it. What if they had one NFL team? So listen, I mean, if they can find the money and the space somewhere to build a big-time NFL stadium in Toronto and give them a team, great, and I'm all for it. I do not want that played in the Rogers Centre. If they do get an NFL team, should the Argos move? That's a sticky subject, Ray. I'm going to say no, but if they were to move the Argos, where should they move? Also a very tough question.
What do you think about
I'm going to say
Mississauga or
I don't,
Brampton or Scarborough or
that's all the because Hamilton is so close to Toronto.
Yeah.
I really don't think one of the outside regions of Toronto, which is so hooked to it via GO trains, and the transit system is so great there that it's practically Toronto anyways.
Right.
So I'd like to see the team stay in the East, but I think it needs to go to a smaller place that like Halifax, for instance, that we're trying to get, like a smaller place, which is where the CFL seems to thrive more. Because I feel like we're already getting our team over here in Halifax, and I'm not going to be greedy saying, "Hey, bring the Argos to Moncton."
What?
What? I'm like my best idea right now, because I didn't know this question was coming, is Quebec City. I think Quebec City could definitely handle a CFL team. Again, it's a Laval town. You're right, but the Laval could share the fandom with that. Yeah, for sure.
It will be really interesting to see. This topic is becoming more and more of a discussion.
Yeah,
and I mean, it might be a pipe dream. It may never happen. Now,
can't see it.
You just got back from Toronto.
Yep.
When you walk around the city of Toronto, are they pumped up right now about the Jays, the fact the Leafs are right around the corner, or are you still seeing lots of Raptors gear around the city?
Well, you still see Raptors gear, but no, everybody's pumped up for their teams. There's not as much fanfare about the Jays at the moment. It's been a really, really tough season and everything like that. The Leafs are coming, but like me walking around there, I didn't see that. Like I've told you before, in my 7 years living in Toronto, I don't understand why people say that's a Leafs city at all. I just don't buy it. Yes, all the games sell out, but the city itself otherwise. I mean, every time the Habs are in town, there are way more Habs jerseys there than Toronto. That's a controversial subject that we won't get into. There was plenty of NFL. Plenty of NFL. Yeah, there were plenty of mix of every team that you could possibly think of. But there was excitement this weekend in Toronto for the NFL season kickoff. I can promise you that.
Okay.
Way more excitement than I could detect about the Argos game, even with the win, unfortunately. But
we'll have to wait and see. This is going to be a topic we're probably going to talk about more and more. But for now, we'll leave it at that. There's no update on the Schooners, Andy. The bid is in. It's now with City Council.
There's been some nice stories written and some analysis done on it about how A, this proposal is the smartest one that they've seen yet, and B, finally getting over this hump and getting this type of facility and a team like this in Halifax is what that city needs to take it to the next level. Unfortunately, their voters and the council people don't traditionally really care about that. So we'll see.
I want all you people to come to First Down Sports podcast first for your Atlantic Schooners news, but there was an article written in the Chronicle Herald this week by a reporter, and it's basically a dreaming article about what it would be like if there was a team and what the game day experience would be like. It's actually up on the Let's Talk Schooners Facebook group.
Yeah, go check it out.
I suggest you check it out. It's a good read. I enjoyed it. Enjoyed it.
We're hoping to get some news within the next month or two or something like that. But listen, we're going to know soon, folks. By the end of this CFL season, I believe we're going to have the yay or nay, and let's hope it's yay.
How about we reach back out to Tony Mancini and see if we can get Mancini on for a little insight?
That's a good idea.
We'll
do that.
We're going to do it. We'll reach out to him. All right, let's pick some games.
Let's go with the picks. So last week in the picks, I went 3-1 in my picks. I was dumb enough to choose Edmonton. I will not be doing that again. Ray, you did pick Calgary. You went 4-0. I actually got my upset, and you got your lock.
Yes.
So we're good to go there. I am now 31-19 on the season and 6-7 in the tiebreak, and you are 30-20, Ray.
Whoa!
Only one game separating. You are on the charge. Let's roll. We only have 3 games on the docket to pick.
Okay.
And it's the unwatch. I got to stop calling them that. It's Ottawa visiting BC, going way out to the West Coast to play Mike Riley and the BC Lions. Crazy enough, the only healthy of the big quarterbacks and having the worst possible season. What do you got?
Well, I just asked Mike Riley for a big favor.
Yeah.
I think he's going to deliver on this favor. Mm-hmm. And I am expecting BC Lions to come out with a win in this game.
I'm picking BC too, Ray, and I have to pick an upset this week. And would you be willing to call that an upset over the Ottawa? You know what? I'm not going to ask you to let me do that because I'm not going to consider it an upset.
All right.
Ottawa is unwatchable, let me tell you that. So I'm picking BC as well. Hamilton at Calgary. There's a lot on the line here, folks.
A lot on the line.
Ray seems to think he's making a deal with you guys, even though there's really it's a one-sided deal. But what do you got here, Ray?
I'm putting an end to this deal altogether right now, Andy. Okay. I'm putting an end to this deal because the deal's atrocious.
Okay.
Calgary's winning this ball game. Bo Levi Mitchell's going to show the Hamilton Ticats exactly what kind of club they are, and the Stampeders are going to stomp the Ticats in Calgary this weekend.
Okay. I want to pick Hamilton. I will not be surprised if Hamilton somehow pulls this out, but because it's a trip way out west and Bo's firing on all cylinders finally, and Calgary's at home, I have to go with Calgary too, Ray. So okay. I will also pick Calgary. Remember, you have to pick a lock this week. Okay. So I assume your lock is coming right up.
My lock is coming up. Sorry, Shoesmith.
Oh, sorry. Wow. So there's potential here that your lock and my upset
are the same
game.
Yes.
Here it is. We got Montreal going on the road into Saskatchewan where the fans are a little butthurt. Let me tell you something. I'll pick mine right away. I think we both know what's going to happen here. I am going to pick Montreal upsetting the Riders on the road, and their fans are going to be even more butthurt after that.
And I am taking for a lock, Andy. For a lock. Hands down, my buddy, my pal, Vernon Adams Jr.
I'm sure Hugo's going on the trip with them, though.
He'll be there. I'm sure. He'll be there.
Yeah.
But I am taking Montreal to go and win this game. I want I want Montreal to go in and show the western part of this country we are the real deal.
Yeah.
Football, CFL football doesn't center around Saskatchewan, okay? Cody Fajardo, it's been nice. It's been fun watching you, but it's over. You blew it against Winnipeg, and now Montreal's come to town, and they're gonna show they're gonna show the Rough Riders that they are not an elite football team, and it all takes place this weekend with my lock, the Montreal Alouettes.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I'm picking them too for my upset. I will not go any further than that. Fantasy, Ray, you beat me in fantasy again this week.
Woo!
And you're getting close enough where those 25 bonus points for Touchdown Atlantic Challenge is going to start mattering.
Yes.
I finished the week at 81.2 points. I'm at 1,078.4 on the season. That puts me third in FDS and 25th in the Schooners group. You finished with 89 fantasy points.
Nice.
So you got me by about 8. You're at 977.3 on the season. You're in 4th place in First Down Sports, so you climbed out of that 5th spot.
Good.
And you're in 37th in the Schooners. So
okay.
You're chipping away at this
one.
Chipping
away. I'm trying to get back.
And I'm telling you, pretty soon those 25 points are going to matter because I'm under the 100-point cushion by quite a lot now.
Yep.
So we're going to see. So for fantasy teams, we're well under 50. Yeah.
No, I mean, it's 50-point bonus.
No, it's bonus 25.
Okay,
right?
sorry.
Don't try to change this up now. All right. Here's my fantasy squad as it stands right now. I'm going to put the ball back in Mike Riley's hands and see if he does something.
Whoa.
I'm going with Mike Riley at quarterback. I'm going to pair him with running back Brandon Rutley of the BC Lions, and as well, the best receiver in BC, obviously, Brian Burnham. My other running back is going to be Kadeem Carey of Calgary. Shaquille Evans, the wide receiver in Saskatchewan, despite the fact that Montreal is going to beat them, Ray, he's going to do a little something. I like this guy. He didn't have a great week, but he's been steady. And my flex player, also from Calgary, the other running back, I think he's going to have a big return game, we'll go with Terry Williams.
There you go.
So that's my team at the moment.
All right, well, I've been playing around with the fantasy app the last 2 days, trying to come up with the perfect team to continue my comeback. I have to start it off with Bo Levi Mitchell, right? My running back is William Stanback. Wide receivers, I got Eugene Lewis, Eric Rogers, and Quan Bray.
Yep.
Now I'm in a little stuck spot here. I don't really have enough money for another running back, Andy.
Right.
So I've decided to bench the running back and start the Montreal Alouettes defense.
Wow.
I still have $796 on the table to play with. So we'll see. I may play around with that a little bit, but
I want to officially call this the Ray Dunn formation because, you hear a lot of theories about, hey, listen, everybody should start all the positions in CFL fantasy. And then there are other people that go, listen, mathematically, you're always at an advantage not starting a defense. But Ray, at least 3 to 4 times so far this season, he'll start a defense and just leave a position empty. Hey, it's called the Ray Dunn formation.
Andy, I'm a single back guy. I like a single back formation. I'm not into the I formation, the pro formation, all near, far, all these different formations. Yeah. I'm a single back guy.
Doesn't like the pistol.
Okay?
There we go. Okay, well, that's where it is. We'll see if that changes. That's it. Looking forward to a 3-game weekend. I got to tell you, Ray, I think the game that I'm the most interested to see what happens in is actually that BC game. So I'm a little upset that it's in BC, so it'll be happening.
It's going to be happening. That's called PBR.
That's called PBR, exactly.
PBR, fast forward the commercials.
Yep. All right, guys, if you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the dislike button if you want, and leave us
your comments.
Comment. That'd be cool. And if you're listening to us on the podcast, please rate us. That would be cool. Rate us anything you like.
Rate us, follow us, subscribe to us. It'd be fantastic. We really appreciate it. Tell your friends about us. That'd be great too.
There you go. All right, let's
Thanks,
get out of
guys.
here. See ya.